Hi Piccolos. I'm going to go over my three go-to resource books that I use to look up alternate fingerings or a trill fingering or a weird tremolo fingering, or just if there's any advice on a particular piece on going from one note to the other or whatever for intonation and all kinds of things. Okay, so the first one, and if you get just one piccolo fingering book, resource book, I would get this one. This is the Jan Gippo book. Jan Gippo was the longtime piccolo player of the St. Louis Symphony. I love this book, and it turns right to the high G page. At the beginning of the book goes through a lot of like the primary fingerings, kind of like the regular fingerings, and then any alternates. So even in the middle register for, let's say, D sharp, I didn't even know there could be all these options. So any little adjustment is going to change the intonation or the tone color or something so that you can play that note depending on the piece, what you need. When we get into high D, it's got, 10 options or something. It's a lot of options. It also will mention this is an alternate, it's slightly sharp, or this alternate is flat but good for rapid passages. Another one, slightly flat, not clear, difficult to master, probably not useful, but it's out there if, might be helpful for somebody. And then it goes into trill fingerings, the primary trills and the alternate trills. A lot of them, like before, there's 5, 6, 10 options, just depending. And I see a specific piece mentioned. The E to F sharp trill, there's one alternate fingering here mentioned for good for long metered trills such as Shostakovich Festival Overture. I should probably go through this more and actually incorporate some of these trills. High G to A trill. There's the famous Jan Gippo trill if you do not have the G to A facilitator that goes along with the C sharp trill, which a lot of piccolos don't have yet. So there's a great trill mentioned here for that. In Mahler 1, there's a high A to B natural trill. And I have it circled and wrote Mahler 1 here, that trill for that. So this is such a useful book. And then it goes on, it talks about the history of the piccolo, blah, blah, blah. I'm never interested in that kind of thing, but somebody might be. Goes over piccolo repertoire, like solos, piccolo and piano. Wow, piccolo with strings, piccolo with winds. This is very extensive. Piccolo with percussion, huh. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I've never looked back here. Piccolo method books are listed as well. Yeah, this book is where it's at. Oh, and there's a whole list of piccolo solos with band. So if you want to play a piccolo solo with your high school band or something, there's 3 pages of repertoire for that. Okay, this is the best book. Other than that, another great resource that I go to, and this one is for the flute, so it's not piccolo specific, but it's still very helpful, which is this, a modern guide to fingering for the flute. So obviously much of this transfers to the piccolo. This is by James Pellerite. I think he played in Philadelphia. I don't remember now. Anyway, much as the other one, it goes through all the fingerings at the beginning, basic fingerings, alternate fingerings, and then it goes through trills. Yeah, so it goes through trills. It's comprehensive, half steps and then whole step trills with a bunch of different options. And what I like this book for most is tremolo. So if I have to look up a tremolo on flute or piccolo, I always go to this book. And this book is great, like the other one, where it starts at the lowest register and goes through absolutely every option you would ever encounter, from low all the way up into the 3rd register. And the tremolos, yeah, it's so good. It goes through major and minor thirds. So once you get out of the trill, half steps, whole steps, then you're in tremolos with thirds, major, minor, and then it goes through fingerings for fourths and fifths, tritones, tremolos for 6th, 7ths, and octaves. Wow, I'd forgotten that all this was back here. So yeah, this is a great resource for tremolo. It should be called the Tremolo book. But here's a whole section on quarter tones and quarter tone trills. It's a lot of text, a lot of information. Yeah, just a great resource. Okay, and then lastly, I only have a paper photocopy of this that somebody gave me like decades ago. I don't even remember where it came from. It was when I was in college. But I think this is out of print now, but it's really good. And so I would look it up and see if maybe I'm wrong, or if anyone has it or is giving it away, definitely take it. And that's a basic guide to fingerings for the piccolo. by Steven Tanzer. He was the piccoloist of the Philadelphia Orchestra. So it's organized like the other ones, where it starts at the beginning, goes through all standard fingerings. This one does not have all the alternate fingerings for piccolo that the first one, Jan Gippo's book, has. I mean, like for B flat, middle B flat, it goes through the 3 options, lever, thumb, whatever, but that's not alternate fingerings. And when you get into this section on trill fingerings, it has a lot more options. Like this middle B to C natural, I didn't know it could have so many options, but it looks like you read straight down each column. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different options for a B to C trill. But what's nice about this book is underneath you have these numbers 67, 68, 69, etc. And if you take like 68 and you look at the back, it's referencing usually a specific instance where you could use that trill. So 68 mentions, this is one of the Bartók fingerings that can be used in the 3rd movement of Bartók's Concerto for Orchestra in the 4th measure of rehearsal number 123. Because the pitch is higher than with the regular fingering, the head joint, blah, blah, blah. So it's very detailed things and specific instances where you can use it. It can be so helpful if you're struggling with a particular trill, like the Mahler 1 trill. In fact, let's see what it says. Yeah, G to A, or Mahler 1. A to B, it says there's 2 options, and it mentions 134 is where there is detailed explanation. So let's see what that says. Another problematic place in the orchestral repertoire looking for a good fingering is in the first and last movements of Mahler's Symphony No. 1. He mentions like a detail about this particular trill fingering is that although the high A speaks better with this fingering, it is awkward to press the D sharp key with the 4th. So it's got some details in there. And for high B to high C natural, I see that he says this is the only fingering that is negotiable for regular usage. This trill also appears in Shostakovich Symphony No. 8 at rehearsal letter G. Because of the range, this trill requires a great amount of blah, blah, blah. Anyway, such a great resource. Okay, so those are my 3. The Tanzer, a basic guide to fingerings for the piccolo, the Pellerite, modern guide to fingerings for the flute, and my favorite, the complete guide, or the complete piccolo, a comprehensive guide to fingerings, repertoire, and history, Jan Gippo. So as a piccolo player, I would definitely have 1 or all 3 of these resource books. I think these are the best ones. I don't know of any other ones offhand. If anyone else knows of any other of these type of reference books for piccolo about fingerings and trill fingerings, etc., please let me know and drop that down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and happy piccolo practicing.